we've talked already about the importance of people seeing that their job is not just about doing the job, but about improving and innovating, because if we're not improving quality, it will start to shift backwards, inertia effects. And part of that is about giving people the skills to do quality improvement, giving them the time, creating the space to have projects where you can improve the quality of what we do. Because that's, of course, important for the service. It's also important for people's own sense of growth and development, which is a key factor in their mental health, in their growth and well-being at work. And so it's giving skills, it's giving time, it's giving space, it's thinking about how we can build in processes which enable people, when they have ideas for new and improved ways of doing things. And it's about the culture of the organisation, and many of the issues we've talked about already are overlap with what is a culture for innovation. But I'm going to pick on two in particular. One is the importance of positive inclusion and participation. So the civil service is there to the civil service is there to serve the people of Northern Ireland. So it feels entirely appropriate that their voices, the voices of the people, should be heard continually, that there are mechanisms and processes to ensure that they have influence, to ensure that we interact with them, to ensure that there is mutual sharing of information, and that requires authentic contact. But also to ensure that all voices are heard within the organisation, that engagement is about people within the organisation having their voices heard. All voices, so that that diversity of experience, perception, attitude feed in to the thinking and the decision-making of people throughout the organisation. And about having diversity of leadership and diversity of boards. So one of the issues is, have we got people with different attitudes, different experiences, different backgrounds that are working at senior levels within the organisation, or do we merely hire people in our own image? Do we merely promote people in our own image? And there are issues here to do with minority groups, to do with the representation of women at senior level, and so on. But also learning from other organisations and being engaged in networks, learning from organisations internationally about good practice. So how have organisations in the civil service in other countries achieved very high levels of engagement, or managed performance problems, or managed people who are aggressive or difficult? How have they structured their organisations in a dynamic environment? How do they manage that adaptation process? So let's learn from the civil service and other organisations. Let's learn from organisations that are not in the civil service in other places. Let's go to Alaska and learn from the NUCA initiative about how the community was involved in creating a health service which reduced alcoholism, suicide, drug abuse. Let's go to New Zealand and learn from the Canterbury Health and Care Service about how all of their public services came together to absorb the shocks of the earthquake and create fantastic public services through integrated working across boundaries. So what feels really important is that we look outside at other organisations and learn from them about how we can solve the problems that exist within our own organisation as part of cultures of innovation. And I think what's inspiring and extraordinary is how many amazing examples there are around the world which people are only too eager to talk about. We should be beating a path to their door to learn about what they've done. And as I say, extensive user involvement. And the second is the importance in our organisation of creating the systems and structures and the skills for people to do innovation, to do improvement. So skill building for improvement and innovation for all staff. So teaching people about PDSA cycles and lean, it doesn't matter what kind of techniques we learn, but helping people understand about how we do service improvement and creating structures that enable people, when they have good ideas, to go and get help. So also rewarding and recognizing innovation projects, whether or not they are successful. People have tried to implement a new and improved way of doing something, and sometimes that fails. It's the nature of innovation, but recognizing people's attempts to make a positive difference. So it feels really important. You know, the most successful organizations in terms of performance and creating the conditions where staff can flourish are making innovation a key strategic objective. It's in their vision, it's in their practices, in their processes, it's in their reward systems, it's in their appraisals.